seeding when we get to the finals.
Yeah, it's a lot at stake, has to be said. Even if it's a qualifier inception we have going on here, it is for a major. It's one of the three super or main events of the year, you could say. But we are live here. Dignitas gets to start on the T side, and they have Kierby with a Tech 9. He has a smoke. Everyone else with armors. On the other side, you have, well, just armors on the CG side. They are trying to make sure no bomb plants coming in. The smoke has been thrown off to the B bomb side. There's literally no one from Orbit on the B bomb side, which is kind of weird. Now, this retake is going to be super tough without having any grenades to work with.
Yeah, that was kind of odd. We saw the A players on A. You know, you can't set up for an A retake with no utility, but instead Orbit do the same thing at B. The smoke goes down and blocks them off, and now here is Spy Leader with the first kill of the round. He's brought down MSL. That means 2 coming in through the vents, but this is known. And that was 2 players actually hiding out back checker box. This is going to be some mind games right here, depending on how wide they peek in. And Config goes down. Yeah, Spy Leader, he's got no idea there's one more, and that's Tensky who brings him down. Spy Leader did actually find 2 frags, though, and now Tensky going to work by himself, finding some crazy headshots, but the bomb's already been defused here without a kit, mind you.
Exactly. That did not seem good for Orbit to start things off, but somehow they still managed to pull it off. Playing a passive B-bomb site without having any utility is quite questionable, but, well, I guess they proved me wrong. They managed to do it. I felt like MSL overextended in middle. Had he played a little bit more passive, more patient, just waiting for the CTs to go into event, he could have been a decisive factor in that round. But he goes down early on, and that's going to mean Orbit picking up that pistol round.
Yeah, that's all pistol rounds, right? 3 for 3 for Orbit so far in this series. And once again, not as many deagles this time. We saw Dignitas on their Mirage forced up go for a lot of deagles, but just the one here on Tensky. He wants to go over the boost with it and try to find a pick in middle, but it won't happen. Spy Leader denying that.
Yeah, it's going to be MSL now picking up that deagle in play, and Dignitas definitely taking a conservative approach. They got the bomb plan, obviously, so that means they will have the money to buy in the following round. Now, right now, it seems like it's going to be a little bit more cleaner for Orbit compared to what happened in the on Mirage, where Tensky managed to make it super costly. Well, MSL, I think he's trying to prove me wrong. He gets 1 kill before Spy Leader gets 1 onto MSL. It's only Config and Kierby left as the last 2. Make that only Kierby now.
Yeah, all alone, and what was he? He's just outside. Oh no, he is in A main here on the reverse side of those lockers. Generally a good spot, but not when the bomb has not been planted, and he's got only a P250, no armor, trying to work his way in. The deagle recycled once more. Tensky had it initially. MSL picked it up, found a kill, and now it's on to Kierby, the hand-me-down deagle.
Yeah, it's like a prize going back and forth. Kierby trying to lurk his way in, but probably not going to get much out of it. Nothing, in fact. Punisher gets the kill. And that's going to be a rather clean one for Orbit to make it 2-0. And now we see Dignitas already buying in. They're going to be AK-47s across the board. They have 4 smokes to play with. Plenty of flashes. So, well, the lack of Molotovs, obviously, is going to be a little bit of a problem, obviously, on this map. But still enables them to do a lot of things with these smokes.
Yeah, so Dignitas, they've lost the Terrace pistols, but they've got the bomb down on Mirage, and they got it down here on Cash. So the rifle comes out a little bit earlier, and MSL finding the first kill there. Bubble trades out, so still 4 on 4. And Victor will find 1 onto Config.
Yeah, nice job there. I think he got blinded a little bit there. That was actually Bubble, never mind. But still, the frags are going to the wave Orbit, and they're just denying this mid to B take from Dignitas. It's not only going to be Kierby and Tensky alive here. Bubble playing the aggressor to Tensky getting that shot through the smoke, but right now, it's only going to be all on Tensky against 3 CTs, and the bomb is down also in middle, so it's going to be a tall ask for Tensky with just having a flashbang to work with too. Still got him HP, got plenty of time to work with, but needs to hit some crazy shots. I think he just spotted 1 CT there, but decides to fall back.
He's going to need some mistakes from Orbit as well if they'll peek out and just, you know, allow him an opportunity here. And you can see on the white box, just trying to keep the attention of Tensky because there is a flank coming in through mid-main. That's NKL, and you can see he's got the angle. They know that they have Tensky pinned in here under the CT side of Boost. And there it is. NKL shooting him in the back, and Orbit out to a 3-0.
Yep, that's the problem when you don't have the Molotovs. You can't Molotov sandbags, because that's one of the most usual spots for CTs to be at. I think Victor was there, and he got a couple of really important kills. So when you're trying to take a mid-take, I think you might want to sacrifice buying a couple of flashes, instead get a Molotov. You should be able to flush out the opponents, and that's going to be a quick 3-0 for Orbit there. And keeping it rather clean as well. And Dignitas is going to be in a state, but this time around they have 3 Deagles and 2 P250s.
Yeah, the losing bonus stacking up a bit more, so they go in for the big pistols, the Deagles. And look at this Molotov, that's going to cause a lot of problem. Rubino is so low, down to 9 HP, and all right, they've taken some checker control, and they'll boost down into the vents. Broken on both sides, and look at Config, that's perfect. Victor will get, oh, MSL, he's got to get that kill. The distraction was perfect, but Victor finding 2, and then actually a 3rd there onto Kirby. And now Tensky alone in Orbit, surviving with 5 members.
Yeah, and that's going to be a lot of money in the bank right now for them. As we can see, Punisher sitting at 8K, well, now down to 7 after buying the grenades. But still, a buffer has been built by Orbit. Even if they would lose a round, they'd still have a lot of money. And now, as we can see, Dignitas with 4 Molotov, so that's going to help things no matter what they do. If they want to do a mid-take, they can Molotov all the positions, the vent, the sandbags, or if they want to do an A-push right away, they can Molotov all the corners of the site. Like right now, they're just doing a default, but Orbit's opting to do a lot of aggression here. Victor, the fast 2 kills once again. He's just being a monster here on Cash once again.
Yeah, so pressure not bothering Victor whatsoever, just doing what he's known for, flying out there into A main, finding 2 quick kills. However, Dignitas clawing their way back into this one. They've gotten into a 3-on-3. They still have those Molotovs. Actually, utility for Orbit's become quite low. NKL playing on quad just passively, and he's going to go down. Tensky so quickly, just pulling the spin move pretty much from the looks of it.
And that's going to be the bomb side opened up right now. Kirby will overextending a little bit, in my opinion. Should have just fallen back. Bubble going to say, thank you, get that kill. And make it a 2-on-2 right now. Spider in A main. Tensky's going to show himself he is. That's going to make it into a 1-on-2, but Rubino, he's really good at this situation. He's going to face off both of the CTs. Not going to be able to win that one. And Orbit with another round, one that seemed like Dignitas should have had in the back already, but I felt like Kirby, I think it was, who was overextending a little bit towards across the forklift. That cost him quite a bit in that round.
Yeah, and Rubino was actually spotted in Squeaky, and he was so close to the wall, right? So he doesn't have the angle. He can't see out, but as they're looking in, they were still able to see him. And here's Victor, who started it all off, actually looking at the second kill there onto MSL, and that was Dignitas' chance that last round. Well, maybe this one, just because the bonus is stacked up, to finally win a rifle round before things start to get a little worrisome.
Exactly. Now they only have one Molotov on Tensky. So let's see what they opt to go for. So far, it seems like another default round, just 2 going into A main, 1 door, 1 holding mid garage, and 1 holding B. So they're waiting for that potential aggressiveness from Orbit to start things off, but as we can see from the minimap, Orbit taking it quite slowly, just having 1 on the A site. One playing forklift, 1 in just this deconnector, just waiting for things to happen in middle. So both teams kind of just waiting on the opposing team to do things or take the initiative.
It seemed like Orbit even kind of missed that smoke into A main. I don't know if that was like...
Would that even surprise you now?
Not really. I'm starting to think maybe it's next level. Maybe they are missing them so that people try to peek and then they're like funneled in and you know where to aim. I don't know what's going on. But look at Victor. He gets flashed, so he just starts spraying down middle and... Things are going Orbit's way. Yeah, MSL falls, headshot from that AK. And man advantage, and of course round advantage, 5-0 for Orbit.
I think it's been a theme so far in this half of Cash. That the first kill has gone the way of Orbit every single time. Now MSL, the in-game leader of Dignitas, going down. Kirby, though, is going to be able to retaliate on the Spy leader, who's playing a little bit too aggressive for my liking for a 5-on-4 situation. Now this situation favors the T side. Punisher going to be the back side. The push is coming in from Dignitas right now. Rubino, Kirby getting 2 big kills before Punisher manages to retaliate, but it's going to be Kirby with the 3K taking over that bomb side. Things just totally escalated quickly there. It seemed like Orbit had the opportunity to just hold off Dignitas once again, but I felt Spy Leader overextending in that A main opened things up for Dignitas to do the execute.
So once again, it's Kirby who steps up big time to get Dignitas onto the scoreboard. He got a 3K entering onto the site, 4K overall in the round, Rubino with the other frag. So there it is. But Dignitas, they lost so many rounds that Orbit, of course, can get out to another full buy here. So it's not going to be easy for Dignitas to earn those free rounds.
Exactly. It's going to take a bit of work for them to break the economy from Orbit. Another slow round coming in from Dignitas, but look at the positioning from Orbit this time. They are heavily invested to middle. They are expecting a potential mid-take, but none of that is happening so far from the looks of things. Dignitas again to A main, 1 door, 1 just holding super passively in mid, and 1 is in towards B garage. But as I say that though, Conflict right now seems like he's going to be working his way towards middle. Here comes the mid take. Victor is in prime position. He's not going to get Molotov, but instead just dismantled by Config. And that's the opening kill going the way of Dignitas.
And Bubble looks like he will get one. Yeah, he's now flying out, gets two onto Config. Even, I think, shooting the toes there of Kirby, who's hiding out in mid-main. And now Spy Leader just going to push through the wall of smoke that Dignitas laid down and find another kill. So Orbit 4 on 2. And, I mean, Dignitas did everything right there in the middle. They had the crisscross smokes and the Molotov to the vent.
But they missed. They didn't have the Molotov for obviously for sandbags. Config comes in, he gets the kill. So a bit of a risky play there. It looked really good for Dignitas, but then Bubble happened.
Yep. Destroying the dreams, and now Tensky and Rubino, the last two up. See what they can't do. I mean, these are kind of the guys that you want in these situations. A 2v4 is a big ask, but these are the two guys you'd want to do it for Dignitas, and Tensky will start it off, that kill onto Bubble.
Yeah, 4-2 advantage. You don't want to play an aggressive position like Bubble was there. Now Punisher is going to be here out of position, meaning that the B bomb side has been lost to Tensky and Rubino, who get to plant the bomb. Obviously not the best of plants, but it's still something that they can work with. Tensky gonna get a kill. Also Rubino, and that's how it just falls apart for Orbit. Absolutely makes no sense whatsoever. A massive mistake from Bubble, first of all, to be up in middle, for there to be an opportunity for Dignitas to get that kill, and then got on the B bomb side. Punisher being outside of B bomb side. Look at this. Bubble, first of all, just doing massive work, but then it all just collapses in a matter of seconds.
Yeah, actually, so Bubble, they did Molotov the vents, and it kind of went in a little bit just so Bubble couldn't peek out, but it didn't land properly in the vent. That's why Bubble was still there. So maybe it was a little bit of a mistake from Dignitas with that Molotov placement. And then, I don't know what happens on the site, right? You think, all right, Orbit, you know, they shouldn't have lost that first player, but now they're already set up to retake B from 3 angles. But Tensky, man, he just went to work there from inside a checker.
And that's going to mean a force spy coming in from Orbit. They have 2 rifles and 3 upgraded pistols. And it seems like Dignitas is going for the A play. They have all the utility. Let's see how they use them. Because even if there is well, there's just 2 members from Orbit right now on this A side. Look at this, Molotovs coming in. This is exactly what I was asking for. Here comes the push as well. Spy Leader being the lone rifle on the side. Has to do a lot of work. Gets the 1 kill before it gets traded away by Caribou. Now Config is in a bit of an awkward position. It's going to get taken away by NKL. A forklift control is at CT's right now. Massive advantage before Tensky comes in and gets the kill.
The Bubble with the 5-7 could still be lethal, right? You got Kirby on just 2 HP, hiding out in default. Punisher brings down MSL. That was one of the healthy players. It might fall on Tensky one more time. He wants to get out to the bomb. He will throw this flash. That's going to be nicely done. He turns from it, and so does Bubble. So Tensky winning in that exchange, and then why not? Everyone knows the angles. He'll take a shot through the smoke, and it connects to the face of Punisher.
What a round once again, just going back and forth. It looked like Dignitas should not have any problems whatsoever getting onto that A bomb side. Here's Tensky. Look at this. What is that? The crosshair's not even on point. He still gets the headshot somehow.
That's why you spray and move.
Yeah, that's the new meta. Why not? 5-3 Orbit. Now it's going to be a full-on save from the Bulgarian side. Dignitas once again slowly chiming into the game after Orbit having a great start to the game, but, well, a bit of a trade is how things are starting out. Caribou down 17 HP, still manages to get 2 kills, but a little bit messy start for Dignitas on the Sansai Eco.
Yeah, so Kirby now starting to go off here onto Cash. That's exactly what turned around Overpass, and overall, Kirby's been having a great event, which is something that seems to be a key ingredient for Dignitas. Of course, when they have success, it helps when your star players show up. As the Spy Leader hiding out at the forklift. And Dignitas still playing a little bit slow, maybe expecting a stack of these 3 players on one of the sites, but they are pretty spread out, kind of in a 1-1-1 right now for Orbit.
Yeah, that's something you're supposed to do when you're already in a disadvantage. You definitely want to stack. Spy Leader. He's trying to lurk his way behind, but I think it's going to be a little bit late for the party right now.
MSL will break the new vents. He doesn't care about them. So checker control, and now working in through B main as well. It's Bubble playing on the headshot angle with the Deagle. Can he get anything done? He does find one, as he's almost looked like he was jumping up onto the site when he kills Tensky, and this has gotten very, very close into a 2-on-2. Bomb is down as well, and it's way out in the open. Spy Leader gonna scoop up that AK, trying to spray down this man at blue tarp. That's MSL on 23 HP. He moves his position, gets the bomb, and gets the kill onto Spy Leader. Molotov perfectly. That actually connected onto NKL's face. And remember on Dust 2 the other day, we actually did see a Molotov impact kill somebody.
Exactly. Not something we see every day, but what a hairy round in the end it was for Dignitas. Something that we thought would have probably, or should have probably been way more clean. But in the end, it was Orbit managing to make that very competitive, and now they have the rifles once again. Bubble is on the op. Everyone else on the M4s. Only one kit that's going to be Bubble, and seemingly a bit of a push through B. Warehouse seems to be what's in order right now for the Bulgarian side, and there you have it. Punisher's going to get the first one on the Rubino, and it's now deciding to fall back. That's a nice entry from Orbit.
Yeah, and right away, they throw a player up into the vents. That'll help out Victor over there at middle. So Orbit with a great spread across the map now, and Dignitas going a man down. That's certainly going to hurt. It may once again fall on Kirby to kind of open it up. Or Tensky, he has been so good in those clutch situations. Even on the pistol round, he got those 3 really quick Glock headshots. Of course, they lost it, but you know, Tensky came to play today. And here's Punisher over at Checker. Dropped out of the vent, found 2, and spraying down through the smoke, getting some more damage. Needs to reload. Config moving in, does get the kill. And now Bubble with the op. He's there. And it's Tensky, 1 versus 3. Needs to get out to the bomb. He drops the smoke to do so. Flashed and pushed through, trying to channel his inner stew, but it doesn't work.
No, it's not meant for everyone. But this time it was Punisher with the 3K. Starts things off with the 3 guys pushing B warehouse. They get that entry. They fall back to push up on the vent. Oh, eventually Dignitas trying to push that B bomb site. Punisher with a 2K or 3K in the end. It's going to be Orbit picking up their 6th of the half, and now as we can see, Dignitas is on a bit of a force by 2 AKs and 3 upgraded pistols and a straight up B play coming in.
Yeah, see, was the flash going to be effective? It is not. Bubble's able to dodge that, but he also misses his first shot. Now he's very blind as he's going for the repeats. He's swarmed. Dignitas, they've turned into Zerglings, and they've brought down Bubble.
And that's going to be the side control lost right now. And it's always tough 4 on 5. Taking over B bomb side is never easy, no matter what the situation, but being down in numbers obviously as well. Config now in prime position to take NKL. He's going to take him to Kirby on the Victor, and now it is mission impossible. Orbit has to retrieve. Punisher and Spy Leader, the last 2 alive, and they're just going to be trying to evade.
Yeah, just looking to save here. Dignitas starting to string some rounds together, and that one really just coming down to Bubble, right?
Ooh, awkward.
Having missed that first shot over at B, it was pretty rough.
Yeah.
And at that point, I mean,
well,
they
kind
closed
of
the gap.
And unlucky also the fact that they only had him in B in that particular round where Dignitas decides to plow in. He misses that one crucial shot, and that's pretty much the round over.
All right, so Dignitas once again, right? They've gone down early, and now are just stringing the rounds together, making the comeback, and maybe possibly winning the half here on the T side of Cash. And Cash as a map, anyone newer to Counter-Strike, is pretty even between the CT and the T side.
Yep, we see a lot of 8-7s, I think, more towards the T side actually nowadays. So it is very even. I think 55-45 spread, and 55 towards the T side. So looking pretty good. Orbit right now. They're going to be on a 4 spot. Surprise, surprise. At UMP, and then 4 FAMAS and 2 5.7s in play. Right now, it seems like Dignitas is taking things slow. They've sent 1 door, a couple of A mains. It seems like their standard default strategy. Trying to gain some map control, see what's going on, try to feel out what their opponents are doing before making a decision.
You see Config's gone to the left side of A main. MSL going to work in with the op now, maybe try to clear out fence and quad, and Tensky situated at the door. And Config, oh, it's actually MSL who will have the bomb with the op. 2 other players for Dignitas still maintaining that B control and mid control, making sure no one from Orbit can push through. And all right, players are shifting, caught out into the open. That's Spy Leader. He'll go down behind the wall of smoke, but Config had eyes on him first. And Bubble, he does get a response back elsewhere. He kills Rubino, who I think was the player over at B, but Config finding another one as now the smokes are out onto the site.
I think Bubble may have just heard the rotation from the T. Dignitas is out of middle. Caribou is going to get the kill onto Bubble. And that's going to open things up. It's now 4 on 2. And Orbit needs to take aggressiveness right now. Exactly what's going to happen. Punisher and Victor both go down. And that's going to be the 6-6 scoreline. And Orbit has to save at this point.
Yeah, and there we saw the working up middle as a terrorist played correctly, where Hellraisers made that critical mistake yesterday when they both were looking up highway and they pushed through Z, but we got the AK locking it down. That Z connector push shut down, and Dignitas, they've tied it up 6-6.
Also great usage of the Molotovs there from Dignitas, just flushing out the opponents out in open. Config taking the opportunity, got one of the kills before Dignitas decided to rotate back to middle. Now, seems like a bit of a stack here in the Z connector and highway from Orbit. They're just waiting for the right time to push out, but unlucky for them, Dignitas is opting to go for another default round to a main. One door, one just Caribou just holding mid. Like that smoke is going to be there. Q Caribou is going to open up on NKL. It's going to have a festival here. 3 kills coming in. 3 kill ready. Make it 4. Is he going to get the last one too? The gentleman's rule needs to apply right now. Everyone else, run away. Let Caribou have it. Config.
Oh,
what are you doing? Wow. Don't. And the BM in the end as well.
That smoke was like, you know, the blue lights that attract the mosquitoes. He throws that smoke, and then they just all come running through it. One peeks out from white box, and Kirby not going to lose to the pistols at that range.
All right, we're casually going back to Mirage. Why not, boys? Let's do it.
It's just an illusion. It was Mirage.
Good one. All right, finally Orbit. They will have the money to buy. No AWP, though. Only a FAMAS and NKL as well. But we've seen some really good FAMAS play, especially from Stico of Hellraisers so far in this tournament. Rubino and Punisher both taking a lot of damage to show things off, but it's going to be another default round from Dignitas.
Oh, Victor, once again, I can only assume he's at those sandbags. He brings down MSL. We got NKL playing on this fence spot. Molotovs as he'll see them going out to clear the forklift. So now Dignitas know that is clear. Config into a good spot. If NKL decides to shift off, maybe to quad, and then even further into the site, it's a hard shot, but Config maybe can't hit it. Here we go. Smoke out to block off that truck angle. Now Molotov over to the fence position, but they run in kind of looking the wrong way. That lets NKL get that first kill onto Rubino, but Config going to make up for it. He finds 2. Victor going around the toxic barrels. His second kill of the round as well. He's going to continue to push in. He'll take Config, who's falling off of the red box. And look at the bomb. It's been left behind. It's Tensky again. How many times has he been in a 1v3?
Well, quite a few times for Dignitas' liking. I think a little bit too many, actually. And that's going to be Victory once again. Going huge. Well, wasn't a retake per se yet because the bomb wasn't planted, but this bomb site was practically lost already to Dignitas before Victor came into the play. Now, since Dignitas has won quite a few rounds, they still have the money to do or buy whatever they like to, and they go for all AKs. And from the looks of things, it's going to be a heavy A hit coming in straight away, and it's going to be only going to be NKL here as the welcome party, but he's going to get the first 2. Nice work from an Inspire Leader chiming in as well. Only Tensky being the one to get a kill all that round, and Orbit 8-7 lead on the city side.
Yeah, well, I mean, it seems like it is pretty hard. Like, Dignitas started chaining rounds together, and they made that full comeback, but then Orbit, they're figuring it out. It is always so difficult to completely close out the half, winning all those rounds in a row. Dignitas falter a little bit, and I don't know about the decision to just fly straight into the ace site. I mean, it kind of worked for them on Mirage when they made the similar decision to just rush B, but...
Yeah, it's something you do in matchmaking, maybe, but it does some, I would say, works maybe 3 out of 10 times in an actual match. People are going to be so ready, especially in an important match like this. NKL was super ready for it, got the first 2. Spider comes in as well. It was all over before anything really happened. And obviously for the fact that Dignitas had all the utility, they have everything. They could have done so many things, but deciding to just plow into the bomb site seems kind of weird to me.
Yeah, and actually on the last, what would have been round 14, where they were executing onto the A site, they did have that Molotov defense, but they didn't wait like even a millisecond for it to maybe force someone out. They just started going in. I believe it was Rubino who went in first, but he was looking the other way to forklift, which I believe in that round was already cleared out with the Molotov early on. Maybe some miscommunication, jumping the gun a bit, and that may let NKL go really big.
Yeah, it's one of those things you have to make a rule for. Okay, so when we hit A site, we Molotov his spot, so we take 2 seconds of waiting. If there's any CTs in those positions, they're going to have to come out of there, obviously, because they're burning alive. But now we are in the second half. Orbit has opted to go for it. 4 Armas and Punisher with the smoke. Rubino's going to be the one to open things up once again. He's been really good with the USP, by the way, this tournament. For what I can remember, has had some massive impact. It's going to go down on 2 HP, though, but still gets the entry. Now, Orbit is making its way towards the B bomb side, only occupied by MSL, who is out of position. That smoke is going to come off and isolate the bomb side. Rubino, 2 HP, being on a higher ramp. He's going to try and connect. It's not going to be able to.
Yeah, those were so close. And MSL actually did a little bit of damage through the smoke as they were running in. As is posted up on the angle. So the retake coming in. Will they expect someone in this mid-B connector? No. NKL gets the kill onto Kirby. Config's trying to make his way in through the vents. NKL actually will grab another one, and Bumble as well brings down Config. Punisher in the site now. It's his turn to work. Rubino on 2 HP. That's an easy kill, and Punisher's just cleaning him up. Bubble assists on that one.
I don't agree with the whole idea of not holding B bomb site, especially in the pistol round. Super hard to retake.
Yeah, it seems like no matter what, the terrorists usually go for one smoke, right? And if you go B, where are you going to throw it? Right there in the connector. So it does seem a little odd.
It's very true. Right now, we see Dignitas half bought into this. Have the Eagles 2 CZs. So 3 Eagles, 2 CZs. Caribou also in an armor. So what a bit of investment coming into this. Nothing too special coming in from them. They have 2 pushing B warehouse right now. Bubble's going to get one of them. He's going to get the second as well. Config and MSL going down. Oh, that's actually pretty much all of Dignitas going down right now. Just Tensky and Caribou remaining.
Yeah, you'll see Bubble pretty much lurking outside of B on almost every round, especially when they know the team's on a anti-eco or on an eco or force buy, might get more aggressive out there. And Victor, of course, we'll see him so many times on that red crate in the middle garage. One of the best spots on this map to stop the CTs from pulling off any shenanigans.
Yeah, things have slowed down. Orbit is quite spread around right now. One door. They have just either being in the middle, and that's going to be Caribou getting that kill. Don't really necessarily agree with the fact of sending just one player somewhere to see what's going on. Now, rest of the Orbit are pretty much ready for an A push. Caribou is on heaven right now, just waiting for the right time, but he's going to spot his hand. It's going to be game over here, Caribou.
He'll actually run away, stay alive, save that CZ and armor as he just hops away. Actually finds himself a UMP, which again is being brought into so many rifle rounds, sometimes even over the FAMAS and the Galil. So they're going to hold on. Tensky with the Deagle can maybe post up for an exit, but also he might look to save.
Yep. That makes sense right now, trying to save Caribou with the UMP. You can do a lot of damage with the UMP. We've discussed this. Has really good armor penetration. For those of you that, well, are not aware of it, it's something that why a lot of the pro players actually use the UMP in the buy rounds as well is because of the armor penetration.
Yeah, still really good in the short mid-range also, and then of course the higher mobility is quite nice.
Yeah, you can jump around.
Low recoil as well.
Yeah.
But only 25 bullets, so make them count. As Dignitas do hold on to the 2 weapons here, Money still has not recovered from losing that pistol, so it'll be one more round likely going in Orbit's favor.
And they kept it clean on the previous one. So that's always nice to have that little buffer with your economy and make it that much harder for your opponent to try and break it. As we can see, Config, Caribou are the ones with a bit of equipment to work with, and Tensky also has upgraded to a Deagle, while MSL with a P250. But not a whole lot. They have a flash on Caribou, so if they wanted to, they could pop flash somewhere and try and get a cheeky kill before an actual push is coming in.
So this is going to be the round where Orbit, who if they actually decide to go A, are really going to need to use their nades, because we've got Kirby hiding out again in that short to mid-range with the UMP. We've already had that discussion. Tensky's posted up at the truck, Deagle, the very dangerous long-range pistol, and of course the R8, but no one uses that anymore. For good reason.
Let's not go there.
But essentially, it's an A stack here for Dignitas, and if Orbit aren't careful, they could lose this round.
Exactly. This is where it's going to be tested. Well, they do have 3 Molotovs at their disposal. They've used one now to the vent in middle, but they've only sent Spy Leader here to middle. It's going to be smoking off C connector and walking up highway to get some intel on what's going on. He's going to get a kill onto MSL, and that's going to be a cue for his teammates for an A push. Now they know it's a party on that A bomb site. Caribou gets a kill with the UMP. Seems like with 35 on the clock, what is Orbit going to do? They're just going to get dismantled right now. With Config and Caribou chiming in. It's only Victor and NKL left right now. And this is where the lack of organization from Orbit is going to cost them a lot. Only NKL right now left. And this is just, wow, what a round. I mean, had they just used their Molotovs and smokes and flashes, that would have been so much easier. Instead, well, let's just go die one by one to their Deagles and UMPs.
Yeah, I kind of had a feeling that when we saw Orbit setting up that was the end result of that round, no matter what, based on our previous experience with Orbit. Turns out in this case, the analysts, we actually know what we're talking about when it comes to Orbit. And I mean, MSL went down first. I thought maybe that was going to be like the first card flicked out and the house was going to come tumbling down, but it just was not the case. It was, again, Kirby who saved the UMP going big from Forklift.
Yeah, now the question is that going to be the one that changes the tides here? It is still Orbit 10-8 up. And they still have money to buy into this one. No Molotovs this time around, but doesn't seem like they want to use them anyway, so not a big deal for Orbit. But still plenty of smokes and flashes to work with. On the other side, you have Dignitas with rifles and a UMP in play. And they have set up 2 on A side, 1 in middle, and 2 towards B bomb side. So they are not investing all too much in the middle. They are willing to give that one away.
A little odd for Rubino to be the one player at white box with the UMP. Of course, if they run up to white box, which players often do, he can deal with it. But if they come over boost or even try to get into vent, he can't really fight back. So that means main control actually now just completely forfeited from Dignitas. They stack up heavier on the A site. But we can see the bomb is going B.
This is the way they like to play, by the way. When the mid control is about to happen, they want to push this A main. They always do that. Kirby and Punisher are going to have a frack each for their team before NKL gets one. Now MSL in a world of trouble here.
Why?
Oh, he's going to have to fall back. All of a sudden, it's become a 4-on-2 situation for Orbit. And they're just disregarded on that B bomb site. The bomb's making its way towards A because one of the Orbit members already there. Config, though, is going to get a player in transition. That's Bubble going down.
I think maybe we caught a glimpse of MSL, you know, being the IGL as well, right? Like, it seems like 100% he should have got that kill over at B, but was maybe distracted, and he maybe is going to make up for it. He comes in off that bomb wall, finds the headshot onto Spy Leader. It's a brief 1-on-3, now a 1-on-2. Spots the shadow first and reacts. Headshot onto NKL, and this is essentially a default plant. Victor will have to run up, and the flash is going to be dropped. They're both blind, and well done from MSL. Victor gets the kill, so it is a Pyrrhic victory there for Dignitas, but a victory nonetheless.
Ah, what a 1-on-2. He saw the shadow like he pointed out, and then he primed his flash before starting to defuse. As he heard the last remaining Orbit member run towards the site, he releases that flash, and it totally blinds him, and he gets that defuse done. Not the best position to be in A main when you have that plan, first of all, but,
yeah.
Well, nonetheless, great play from MSL, and that's going to be another heartbreak from Orbit. Now it's going to be a game of, well, a case of their mental fortitude after screwing up those rounds, if they can hold it together, as they are taking over middle right now.
And here's Rubino at the white box, but Victor, of course, too fast, finding the entry. Now Bubble, well, he helps out, but he does go down. Victor with another kill. That's 2 for him on the round. Tensky, the man to look at to A, and he can't do anything. Spraying down, but in between 2 targets. It's Spy Leader that gets the frag there. Now just MSL and Config. One spotted at middle. Victor spraying him down, and NKL killing him from the other side. Now all on Config. 1v4. Yeah, it was. He's just got 2 kills. Now it's a 1-on-2. Going over the little hut. He finds the third and not reloading because no one wants to do that. He pulls out the AK, but killed on the cross as he tries to get over to the bomb.
Now money might be an issue for Dignitas. Look at their bank accounts. Only Konvic and Tensky. All right. Well, they have 3 that are okay with 1 save, but 2 in Kirby and MSL that are very low on economy. Because of the rounds being so close right now, but on the Orbit side as well, it's not looking super pretty. But it is still in the end Orbit that takes that one, and they extend their lead. Dignitas, they have Config with a scout. He's going to be the one to try to be a bit of an aggressor. He's going to try to make some plays. We saw him do some crazy shots with this previously against Ants. Oh, he gets that opportunity, but misses it. Punisher with Galil is going to get the kill.
That was a pretty sick angle. You know, just line it up ahead of time and then jump while crouched. And they know where Punisher is. That brought up to 4 HP as Tensky's now picked up the scout. He also had armor going into this as Dignitas can call it an eco round. They were just evening out the money on some of the players. But still finding a hard start as Config has gone down.
That was a headshot through the wall.
Oh, yeah.
Like, inflicted so much damage. Now MSL just went down 1 HP. Oh, Jerry's going to run through the door. Not going to get much out of it. NKL with the kill. And now it's just Tensky and MSL out. Tensky needs to go massive here, but he's already made his position known by just shooting first at nothing, but then does get one on the Spy Leader. The bomb's going to be down on highway. It's going to be taken by Victor, though. A bomb site is totally open. Tensky with 19 HP. Probably going to try and hold on to this scout.
He's got basically everything they bought. He's got armor, he's got one of the Deagles, and he's got the scout. So he's picked it all up. About $3,000 in equipment on him, and he's got almost $2,000 in his pockets. So he'll want to survive. And Orbit could be in a position where they'd want to just go kill him, or maybe they're not really too worried about that scout.
No, and the money is not pretty for Orbit, so they should not be going for this. When you're Orbit, you don't go. Bad Orbit.
You can see Rubino having, yeah, they're doing well right now. You can see Rubino having a rough time, though. Look at 5 and 15.
Yeah, definitely not at the game of his life. Caribou just continuing on what they had on Mirage. I think is well over 40 frags by now. At least 2 map.
Yeah. Although, to Rubino's credit, we did have that situation, remember, Tensky and Rubino in that first half where they won that 2v4. So they were definitely working well together. But overall, Rubino not quite the fragging power you'd expect or want him to be right now if you're Dignitas.
Yeah, well, a little niche detail. He had has his mouse broke as he came here. Has to use another one, which is not his own mouse even. So
did config smash Rubino's mouse on the floor as well?
I don't know what happened there. But it's the 2 totally different mouses as well, so it might be a little bit hard for him. Not able to find the mouse of his liking to play with. But right now, it's going to be a save on Dignitas, and they're seemingly wanting to go onto this A main, but Punisher is ready. He gets the first one, and oh, here comes the door push as well.
Wow.
Looks like going left and right once again. Rubino, well, we just said, I think he almost just doubled his frags there, getting 3 with the CZ. But with down to 13 HP, it's going to be super hard for him, obviously. So got 8 bullets on that CZ. I think he hears one more. I think that's NKL going to middle main right now. Oh, he's going to spot him run across, but then decided to fall back. 13 HP, like I said. Now gets an AK, and the bomb is making its way towards B-bomb side.
Man, I would have loved to have seen that from Rubino's perspective. The fact you got 12 bullets in that CZ, and he ended up finding 3 kills with it. One of them at fairly long range. Finally, Rubino's brought down, so Orbit have some justice and are getting very close now to actually match point. So that's why this timeout has come.
That was like a flashback to like 2014, late 2014, when CZ was a little bit OP, you could say.
Yeah, I'd still say that.
Yeah, it's on the verge, I would say, right now.
Yeah.
So it's not as OP, obviously. Drawing it out takes a bit of time and all that stuff. So I think it's an okay situation right now.
Yeah, and of course, it gets talked about less, but the kill bonus is still only at $100. So
True. Yeah.
You got to think about that, right? A lot of players now, especially on the CT side, have gone for the CZ just like entirely, and you no longer get $300 back. No return on investment, pretty much.
Yeah, exactly. But it seems like Dignitas is taking a tactical pause right now. It's been just a lot of weird rounds, to be honest with you, going back and forth here. It's been a lot of individual efforts once again from Orbit. That's made a huge difference. Victor just being a massive contributor when it comes to their entry kills, and Dignitas trying to find the answers on what to do. I guess maybe they want to put more emphasis on that middle area and just play that retake A, because that is the way to go. That's the way that a lot of teams nowadays do it. Just let the T's have that A bomb site and make sure once you're retaking, you take the forklift control, and that's when it comes really hairy for the members of the T side playing on the back of bomb side. If they're playing on A main, you can smoke that off. So, go for that retake.
Yeah, I mean, we actually have seen Orbit struggle against the forklift control quite a bit. I mean, Kirby, even on that eco round where they ran into the stack, he's there with the UMP. Like, nothing was used to clear it out whatsoever. Yeah. And it does get a little awkward. You mentioned the individual plays. Like, what do you say when it's just Victor running out middle, killing 3 people, and then it's Punisher sometimes in A main just running in there and killing 2 or 3 people?
Yeah.
Dignitas, of course, like maybe you play a bit more passive, but at the same time, you can't just give up so much of the map because you're scared. Maybe you need to fortify the map, like you said. Maybe focus more on that mid control.
Yeah, because they have this style right now. What it seems like is that they want to leave out middle. And what they do is when their opponents take when it seems to them that there's going to be a mid take coming in from the T's, they pop flash into A main and try to go to gain control on this area of the map. That we see Tensky right now again.
That's not real.
That new meta kill going on here. MSL's clutch here. It was a 1-on-3 to start things off. Nice flash in the end. Get the defuse. I think we are still a little bit away from getting this match back in action. 100 seconds off the timeout still to be spent. But yeah, the way they do things on the city side is that when they lose middle, they like to push one part of the map, be B garage or be a warehouse. One of the two basically is what they want to push if they lose mid, which is actually a nice way of doing it. They want to get some real estate once losing mid, and to make it that much harder for the T's to try to make a play afterwards.
Yeah, and what about the op, right? We saw the op come out for MSL a little bit on Mirage. They're a team that doesn't often use the op straight away, but Mirage, it's kind of tough to avoid. Do you think maybe there's a chance they try to bring that out on Cash?
I mean, possible, but like I said, they don't really have that superstar opera in the lineup to just begin with. So in the end of the day, I'd rather see them just keep it on rifles because they are more consistent with the rifles than the AWP.
And I thought that tactical pause was going a pretty long while. They actually, Dignitas took one, and then Orbit took one as well, because we have seen Orbit plagued by the small bladder.
Yeah, it seems like a bladder issue. It's just, it's just a thing with Orbit.
Which is, that's, I mean, it sucks. I know when I'm playing personally at home, like if I have to go to the bathroom, I'm playing very badly. Like I'll just rush somewhere, and if I die, I'm rushing to the bathroom and I'm rushing back. I'm not calling pauses in matchmaking. I'm not that guy.
Well, when nature calls, go, right?
So that can't mess with you. But of course, this is a big moment, right? To have wasted. They're in the lead right now. Let's say Dignitas are making this comeback. Now Orbit will not have their tactical pause to fall back on later.
Yeah, and I mean, it seems like a bit of a theme for them. I don't think they've spent their tactical timeouts to anything else except for bathroom breaks so far in this tournament, from what I can remember at least. But yeah, I mean, at least they are right now on that T side. So if they do, run into some issues, they can always just camp in T spawn and try to.
That's true.
Spend a bit of time having a timeout like that, but
the Swedish eco, as I call it. I don't know if that's fair. I don't know if I've upset all the Swedish people in production with that, but
that's one way to put it. But we are back into it. Orbit taking a great grasp of this map. 13-9 up right now. So this is, well, pretty much last call for Dignitas to come up. And Caribou is going to boost up Tensky right now. And see, we haven't seen that before on this map right now, and well, on this occasion at least. And I think slowing down Orbit, just doing a bit of a default here. One door, couple A main, and pretty much the same stuff we saw from Dignitas as well.
Yeah, definitely a good change, right? Just use the power of the boost to try to open up a round. That's maybe something that's not super sustainable, but it will get you possibly another round and limit the economy of Orbit. And the op has come out for MSL as well.
Yep.
He's taking that over at B, I think. Yes.
Yes, he is holding it that angle, but gets smoked off right now. And that is where 3 of Orbit members are right now. The bomb is in T-spawn, but it's making its way towards B as well, so that indicates the possibility of a B hit here. They have one player, I think he's up on boost. Just waiting, Punisher there, yeah. Just waiting for the right moment to try to make a play, but MSL is going to connect on the first one. It's going to miss on the second, but Config comes to the rescue before Bubble managing to get 2 of his own, and that's going to be a 2-on-3 situation. The numbers heavily favoring Dignitas now that it's a Bubble left against 3 of Dignitas. Just waiting for the retake to come in. He's going to pick up that AWP and go down by Tensky.
I mean, you can see Bubble. He's in such a bad situation. He wants to try to push CT, take the fight to them, thin the numbers, and then maybe there's a chance at a 1-on-2, but that's tough. So MSL hits the first shot. Maybe could have had a bit of a highlight clip if he hit some more, but Config more than makes up for it. He pops through the vents and he got 2 kills and did about 240 damage. So that was a massive round for Config.
Yeah, definitely. Great job from him. MSL then connecting on the first one, then I was talking about the inconsistency. When you don't op as much, you kind of are supposed to get that second one was running to your crosshair.
Yeah.
But unluckily, he's not going to be able to get that. Config comes to the rescue. And still going to be a buy for Orbit, who are taking it over towards the B bombs on MSL.
MSL died.
Yep. He's just going to get destroyed. And that op is now in the hands of Config. Oh, here comes the push. Config's going to be in a world of trouble. He's going to be dead by now. That's going to be the B bomb site lost. 5 Orbit members still alive. That's going to be a cue for Dignitas to just fall back and don't want to have anything to do with this. What a round.
Yeah, and Orbit got there. Someone must have had one of those more forward spawns over towards B because they got there so fast. You can see MSL, I'm sure, a very experienced player. He's crunched the numbers. He knows the timings, and he was caught off with just maybe a second there as he tries to let the nade go. Gets caught in the face, and I mean that hurts, right? You have that op, you're trying to make the difference with this change of weaponry, and you go down with a nade, basically having just left your hand. And Config tries to pick it up, but hesitates for a second, then he's caught on the fallback, and overall it just looked like Dignitas falling apart on that round. 2 bad decisions.
Yep, definitely not working out in their favor, and Orbit just plowing into that B bomb side, reacting correctly on that entry they managed to get on the MSL. Must have been a naughty shot from one of the Orbit members onto MSL. But there we have it. It's going to be a bit of a force from Dignitas. They obviously had those 3 M4 saved up from the previous round, but having a scout on Config, you've seen he can be really deadly with that weapon, so don't count him out yet. But it is Orbit right now sitting at 14, looking for that map point.
That's tough though. Config playing at the headshot ledge with the scout. Gonna try to be picking off the heads. That's not going to be easy for him. Tensky, meanwhile, has pushed into a main. This is, you know, fairly common looking over the smoke, so he's taking a lot of fire back. And he's really lucky to be alive, to be honest.
Yeah. All right, Tensky, time to get out of there. Didn't work out. He did do a lot of damage on the Spy Leader, though. He's down to 8 HP, but somehow manages to stay alive with 69 HP as well. Not really sure how that worked out. Orbit is taking things slow once again. Just weighing their options. They boosted one up. I think that's Punisher once again. Bubble is in middle garage, and the rest of his team, or their team, is making their way towards the A bomb side. Smoke off towards the highway, towards the forklift. Interestingly, no Molotovs being thrown out once again.
That seems like such a risk, right? Like, sure, the smokes make sense. You're just isolating forklift, but then you're going to run past it and they could just push through the smoke. Might not matter here because no one was there. Tensky still playing back over at quad. And Dignitas, 2 men down here. Tensky gets one coming through the doors. Looks back over to highway, but doesn't see anything. It's just smoked off for now. Molotov bouncing a few times and pushing Tensky out of that quad position. On the site, that's Config still with the scout. He's in a really tough spot. It's going to be up to Tensky. He gets one more. Config did actually connect onto that player and then brings down Victor. And MSL actually left with a bit of a chance. Spy Leader on 8 HP, Bubble at about half.
Yeah, so much respect shown from Orbit to the 2 members playing that bomb side from Dignitas. MSL now lurking his way through A main. The timing might not be his friend, the Spy Leader. He's going to get that kill. And I think that's pretty much going to make Dignitas economy just break at this point. And it is map point for Orbit as well. 2 scouts coming out, CZs and Deagles for the other members of Dignitas. So it's definitely looking like it's going to go Orbit's way.
Yeah, getting on a match point, forcing Dignitas. I mean, we've seen Config. He even did quite a bit of damage with the scout in the last round, but now Tensky has one as well. Certainly not a good sign. Although if they can put some damage in, you know. That's why there's a scout skin called Blood in the Water. That's all it is. And the pistols in this case are the sharks for Dignitas.
Here comes the push from Dignitas. They're going to be pushing through mid. Rubino and MSL. MSL1 getting the kill, but it's going to be a 3-on-3 in this situation. It's Tensky getting one as well. With a scout. Oh, and Kiribu coming in with the deagle, and things are just falling apart for Orbit right now. Just for them being kind of disorganized can just be a problem against the force buys. Lack of system for them.
Spy Leader's AK summing up this round. Is this happens? Question mark. As NKL will bring it back into a 2-on-2. MSL coming up short. And on the flank, actually, a little slow, but working his way is Kirby.
NKL being down to 20 HP. 28 HP, rather. Could be a problem, but MSL's gone down. That's all up to Kiribu, who is indoor. Lucky for him, the door is actually shut right now. The timing could actually work in his favor. Well, never mind, the bomb does get planted. He's going to come out. He has an AK-47, has an armor, but he's also being sandwiched right now. Spy Leader doesn't really have to do anything, just have to wait for that smoke to disappear. Just does. I think NKL may have been spotted by Kiribu, but it's going to be NKL getting that kill. And hello, back on screen.
Oh, that was fast. I was not ready. Wow, that was, I mean, good attempt there from Kirby in that 1-on-2. You know, had the confidence to just whatever. He's got to take the risk. He slides over to forklift. He doesn't win that battle. But yeah, Orbit. That last round was a little bit sketchy. Bubble had been so good at always shutting down that B aggression. He falls. The pistols go to work in middle. MSL kills Victor. Got close, but Orbit will close it out.
Yeah, I think the one round that really puts this game in a nutshell is the one where it's plowed. Orbit plows B. They got MSL, and then they get Config as well, and they win the round in a matter of seconds. So Orbit's playstyle is so reckless. You cannot describe it as systematic. Quite the opposite, actually. Chaotic, I guess. And you know, there's not a lot of thought process, it looks like, for the way that they attack these bomb sites, but somehow they make it work. I think what compensates is obviously their individual skill. Victor just chiming in every single time, and KL also playing really well, and Bubble obviously. So those 3 guys are the ones that are just making Orbit go forward right now.
Yeah, so everything is pretty much going as expected according to the desk, right? We have Mirage being won by Dignitas. That was their pick. Cash from Orbit, they take that, and we actually get to map 3, which I think everyone wanted to see, which is going to be Cobble. It's the map these teams already played, and it was 16-13 advantage Dignitas. But anything can happen based on that best-of-1 experience. With that, though, stay tuned. We got more of the European minor coming up here. Commercial break.